As far as MonsterVerse content goes, Monarch Legacy of Monsters had been quite disappointing so far in adding on to the kaiju roster of the franchise. While the series was always supposed to connect the entire MonsterVerse together, it does make sense why they have focused so much on the complexity of the human characters of the show. Anyways, with only 2 more episodes left to wrap up the first season, it remains to be seen how the Monarch TV show relates to the upcoming MonsterVerse film. With that being said, in the last released episode titled Birthright, the ending goes out on a bang with a revelation of a relatively new kaiju, or should we say the evolved version of a monster we already saw before. Well, you guys know that anything new on the monster front most definitely calls for a new marvelous video. So without wasting another second, let's find out who are these Endoswarmers.
Oh my god.
Who are the Endoswarmers, and where did we first see this kaiju? So in the latest Apple TV Plus series Monarch Legacy of Monsters, a captivating addition to the Godzilla universe takes center stage with the introduction of the Endoswarmers. The genesis of these indomitable insectoid titans, initially discovered in the heart of Kazakhstan, is intricately linked to the activation of a nuclear power plant in Kazakhstan, a revelation unveiled by the brilliant Dr. Keiko Randa. Her astute observations suggest that these creatures are inexorably drawn to the surface by the potent energy emanating from the plant, showcasing an instinctual connection to the radiation. The monster's behavior is as fascinating as it is ominous. Upon hatching, given that they relentlessly pursue the Monarch agents, employing a strategic tactic of piling on top of each other to overwhelm their prey. The premiere episode, aptly titled Aftermath, unfolds the gripping narrative of the perilous encounter between the Monarch team and these newly hatched Endoswarmers. Now, despite a few fleeting glimpses of Godzilla throughout the series, Monarch Legacy of Monsters surprisingly restrained its use of kaiju appearances. In the first episode, when Kate and Kentaro were struggling to find out more about their father, they stumbled upon a photograph featuring their grandmother standing with what appears to be the footprint of Godzilla. Next thing we know, the narrative transports us to 1959 in Kazakhstan, where a young Japanese scientist, Keiko, embarks on a mission alongside her partner, pre-Skull Island young Billy Randa, an army officer Lee Shaw. Seasoned in their encounters with Titans and Mutos, the trio heads to a dilapidated power plant that should exude dangerous radiation. However, upon reaching ground zero, the Geiger counter falls silent, which is of course an indirect hint to the Titans' influence, as Lee amusingly remarks, believing that the A in A-bomb stands for appetizer. Amidst their research, the team stumbles upon a submerged chamber teeming with glowing red beach ball-sized eggs of a novel Muto variant. Against Lee's justifiable reservations, Keiko and Billy go down the pit to collect a sample. And of course, in classic monster lore fashion, the eggs hatch, unleashing a horde of ferocious giant beetle-like insectoids that chase the duo relentlessly. Despite valiant efforts from Lee and Billy, Keiko succumbs to a gruesome fate, swarmed by the bugs and plummeting to her demise, marking a disturbing conclusion to the episode. What do they look like? Now, these insectoid titans emerging from the desolate landscapes of Kazakhstan boast a unique design quite like that of arthropods, particularly like millipedes or centipedes. These kaijus feature shorter, jagged, dark gray, chitinous armored bodies with orange highlights, adorned with a single row of menacing spikes on their backs and multiple elongated legs, projecting an imposing and fascinating presence. These guys are almost twice the size of an adult human, and as discussed before, they emerge from round, semi-transparent eggs glowing with vibrant orange hues. But what sets the Endoswarmers apart are their intriguing abilities, including passive radiation absorption from within their eggs, creating a dynamic link to their environment. Moreover, the Endoswarmers showcase pretty power-packed physical strength, which was seen in the first episode as they employed sheer force to overwhelm Keiko by piling up on one another in a captivating display of power not long after they hatched. On an interesting side note, in an interview, executive producer Frank Matt Fraction even mentioned that these Endoswarmers were actually crafted as a fun reminder that not all Titans need to be towering 400 feet tall giants in order to do some serious damage. What do endoswarmers evolve into? Well, in the concluding scenes of Monarch Legacy of Monsters Episode 8, tensions escalate as in the primary timeline, Lee Shaw tries to bring down the same power plant using explosives where Keiko fell to her death many years ago, while Tim, Kate, May, and Kentaro try to stop Lee and his entire crew from blowing up the place and closing the hollow earth portal. Lee initiates the countdown for the explosive devices. These ensuing detonations give rise to a gigantic beetle-like titan crawling out of the portal, attacking everyone in its path. However, the explosions cause the titan, May, Kate, and Shaw to plummet right into the portal, leading to the collapse of the remaining structure and likely sealing off the portal. Now, this titan was actually an endopede. In the captivating metamorphosis depicted in Monarch Legacy of Monsters, the endoswarmers undergo a mesmerizing transformation into endopedes. By shedding their previous skin or outer layers, these creatures leave behind empty exoskeletons as evidence of their evolution. They also retain the chitinous armor and multiple limbs characteristic of their larval stages, but endopedes, however, undergo a remarkable increase in size, becoming significantly larger and more imposing. The transformation unfolds with the emergence of 4 enormous horn-like mandibles protruding from their quad-jawed maws, complete with circular rows of razor-sharp teeth. Adding to their menacing appearance, endopedes also sport lengthy tentacle-like tendrils that extend from their maws. Plus, they also lack visible eyes while having long antennae on their heads. But what actually makes these creatures even more visually striking is the intermittent, deep orange glow emanating from their undersides, creating sporadic bursts of vibrant color that add an extra layer of intrigue to their menacing presence. What are these monsters like? The endopedes exhibit a dual appetite for radiation and of course any unsuspecting prey that crosses their path. The females of this species strategically lay substantial clutches of eggs in specialized nurseries, deliberately selecting locations infused with high levels of radiation to provide essential nourishment for their offspring. Upon hatching, the endoswarmer larvae display an immediate and intense aggression, seamlessly cooperating with each other to bring down anything they perceive as potential prey. Adding to the spectacle, the mature endopedes emit a mighty roar akin to the iconic Mutos, signaling their presence with a powerful and resonant sound, while the newly hatched endoswarmers create a mix of squeaks and chitters. Additionally, these endoswarmers displayed cooperative behavior when pursuing Dr. Keiko Randa and Lee Shaw in Kazakhstan, piling on top of each other to create a larger, more terrifying entity. It was actually Bill Randa who theorized that the endoswarmers were drawn to the surface by the activation of a nuclear power plant, indicating a preference for radiation. But the endopede we saw in the last episode was downright savage and lethal, and was most definitely 100 times more aggressive than its young counterpart. What are their powers and weaknesses? In terms of durability, endopedes exhibit impressive endurance, shrugging off impacts from large debris such as falling concrete from the Kazakhstan power plant without sustaining significant damage. Though it does cause some irritation to the creatures, they can also withstand gravitational inversion, experiencing a sudden reversal of a planet's worth of gravity when traversing hollow earth portals. In terms of speed, the nimble endoswarmers match the pace of humans, allowing them to navigate their surroundings swiftly. Their strength is evident in their ability to overpower adult humans, as a swarm of endoswarmers wastes no time in swiftly coordinating to subdue their prey. In comparison to that, the mature endopedes, reaching a size far beyond their larval forms, wield immense physical strength, as their tendrils are more than capable of effortlessly picking up humans and basically tearing them apart. Another unique aspect of the endoswarmers' tactics involves swarming on top of each other, enabling them to rapidly close the gap with their potential victims. The endopedes' lengthy tentacle-like tendrils serve as effective tools for capturing and pulling prey into their maws, showcasing a combination of strategic swarming and physical prowess in their predatory techniques. Even if the endopede seen in Episode 8 was truly terrifying, I think we can all agree that if Shaw's Tomb of Explosives could take down Frostvar, killing this oversized arthropod is surely a piece of cake in comparison. Marvelous verdict. Sadly, there is very limited information on Endoswarmers or Endopede, especially because of its 60-second collective screen timing throughout the series, and of course because this is the first we have seen this Insectoid kaiju. So far, Monarch Legacy of Monsters has only come up with 2 significantly cool kaijus, but given that there are 2 more exciting episodes coming our way, it is not a crime to expect more screen timing and relevant background information on these kaijus, whilst incorporating its bifurcated timeline. Given that the majority of the crew fell into the Hollow Earth portal, I think I can go out on a stretch and assume the next episode will show us a few more kaijus as May, Kate, and Lee navigate through this monster-ridden dimension. What do you guys think might happen? Let us know in the comment box below.
If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.